semicircle that the launcher and pilot will stay in within. The launcher is actually going to stay in here.
1, 2, 3.
Looks like we got a solid launch. Not a lot of stress, and that thing really took off. Made the first corner. Looks like the judge gave him the second corner. Hopefully we keep it out of that fog that's lifting. That was a real nice flight. Real nice. Congratulations. Just to show how pretty that airplane is. And there you have it.
We'll give you plenty of room that you're comfortable as a pilot to see your plane. And we know you have 11 people in your team, your delegation, so please have them hold back. Your pilots. What do you mean staged? You need them to help you get the, you need them to...
Looks like he's made his first round. We're still seeing it. We put one of our best pilots on this first flight. He's made his second Now you'll see Pedro begin setting up for the descent and the landing in the middle of the Bermuda runway. All right, he's down, and the air boss gives a successful flight. Nice launch. Look at that, everybody.
Quickly, quickly.
Looks like they made the first turn. This is a 300-foot run. The pilot's doing a good job working the silhouette instead of much color. All right, folks. That was a collapse of the aircraft at the far end of the asphalt runway. They made the distance, but then there was some structural failure. The bungee is pulled. Now they're just waiting to cut the string. We mentioned earlier about the stress that is applied onto the aircraft as the catapult decides to say, go! So Georgia Tech takes off with a lot of power. They made the first corner. The flagger just giving them the second corner. They might be setting up now for a landing, or they're going to do a flyby. No, they're going to go ahead and land it. There was a nice flight, Georgia Tech. Hand launch. Looks like they made the first corner. All right, it was put down city center. Looks like we got a solid launch. Not a lot of stress, and that thing really took off. Made the first corner. Looks like the judge gave him the second corner. Hopefully we keep it out of that fog that's lifting. That was a real nice flight. Real nice. Congratulations. And it looks like they have a launch. All right, so we're going to let them proceed out of the runway to pick up some pieces and see if we have any glue for them. They got a good first launch, or first turn. Flagger indicates the second turn is an aggressive takeoff. All right, BMS is going to pick up some of those pieces, and they have a drawing board back there to work on, I think. Line judge, they made the first turn. Line judge indicates they made the second distance, and now they're setting up for landing. Down. There we go.
You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me it's clear of the guys.
Okay, that's a good example, folks, why we have the line where it is. Safety is really important. This is University of Central Florida, a short flight.
Oh, it is hilarious. He's good. I told you, he doesn't want to have the over-under.
A real nice, successful flight. Team 322, Cedarville University, Yellow Jackets 2 have a beautiful, successful flight coming right into stage center. Team Yalkovan. Looks like they made the first corner.
Everybody heads up.
Made the second. Now he's going to set up for landing. All right, there was some trouble on that flight. All right, everybody keep an eye on the plane. You made the first corner. Keep an eye on this plane. Line judge indicates he made the second turn. All right, after it. After it flies into the sun, they made line judge indicates they made the first distance and struggling a bit. The pilots pull it out. They've begun their rollout. They have 200 feet. They didn't need that 200 feet. They were off halfway there. So they've made their first turn. The line judge indicates that they did achieve flight within that 200-foot stretch. As Eduardo brings the aircraft around, he has a 400-foot piece of runway to land in. Folks, that's how it's done, right there. That's a really nice flight. White Bear University starts our regular class flying with really good piloting and a really strong cubic inches. It's not a real big engine to be lifting in the airplane tomorrow as we start adding weight to these.
Let's just walk out a little bit.
I was corrected out here. It's actually a 0.61 cubic inch engine, so a little bit smaller displacement. Those trees are about 1,200 feet out, so we have a lot of room to maneuver. The pilot's familiar with the field too. Heads up, everybody. Watch the crowd. Really fine piloting of a real nice aircraft. The plane's made a nice rotation. It's hit its 200-foot mark and the turn begins. Nice majestic flight. It's going to set up on for his base leg and then final. We got base, he's going to level his wing, go top of the runway, and he's coming around for the landing.
You guys brought extra props, right?
Landing couldn't have been much softer. That was real nice piloting. Nice rotation. They may have taken off inside 50 feet. So we have some kind of a design that line judge indicates they've made it to the halfway point, the 200-foot launch. They did that again at about a quarter of that. Air density is 3119. Air density pressure 3119. Keep an eye on the plane. He's now come around for base. Looking to stabilize it and final. Looks like the pilot's going to opt to bring it around one more time. This is a perfectly legal maneuver. As long as the airplane doesn't touch the ground, the pilot has the option to keep it up so that they can make the landing inside the accepted rules. Sets up on base. And final. There's some good piloting. We have a pair of glasses that was turned in on the south side. We're going to have them at the judges' table. So if you misplace a pair of glasses, they're going to be at the judges' table. Looks like UCF made a successful takeoff inside their 200-foot mark. Pilot setting up for the base leg approach and swing it around, just going right into a final. Swings a little bit wide, but I'm sure you can still find the runway. That little burst engine right there at the takeoff put him over the threshold and drops them right into their 400-foot identified spot, making that a legal flight. Stop inside the 400, brings it back to the runway. Nothing can fall off the aircraft. Good job, University of Hawaii. I guess you got yourself over the... If you're from the U.S., you know you want the memo on it. All right, they made takeoff inside the 200 feet. They passed the 200-foot line. The line judge indicated that. The pilot's going to go ahead and now set up for base and final. Again, it's the University of Windsor. What a landing. I can't wait to see how this thing flies when they start adding weight.
They're going to taxi.
But that was a nice, successful landing. University of Windsor. Bird and fly at 3D, meaning you can probably come in and hover it. All right, they begin their takeoff roll.
Race track is ready. Race track is ready.
They made their 200-foot mark. Line judges on that, and their staging goes in their downwind leg. There's some nice flying there. He's a little bit of a crab, but he's going to put it down inside the 400-foot mark. Kept that airplane in perfect shape. Beautiful, congratulations. On deck, prepping using their engine. And we have the rollout and early takeoff. Orangeville Technological University is in the air. This might have been the airplane we saw flying at dusk last night, but doing real fine. It looks like that airplane's close to the trees. Again, that's about 1,000 feet out to go and touch the trees, so Eduardo knows the size of our 80-acre piece of property. Coming around, transitioning from base into final. Got the runway in sight. Now he's just going to bring it in past the point where the takeoff roll began, just by a burst of an engine. And now he brings it in for a real soft landing. You notice that he steered to stay on the runway.
You got 4 stickers.
Real nice flight. École Polytechnique de Montréal, the Red Eagle, landed. Things they discovered, and they've begun their takeoff roll. They're looking to rotate before the 200 feet mark. They certainly did that. Line judge indicates, and so they're setting up for a turn whenever the pilot wants to. It's nice to have the fog lift. You can see how big and beautiful this Georgia Model Aviators airfield is. It's about a 300-member club. This property is owned by the county. We do everything we can to keep it just as beautiful as it is. It's a 200-year-old property, if you didn't hear me say something about that. I get the 200 from the stagecoaches that went by about 200 years ago on Old Federal Road, traversing from Savannah, Georgia, north to Nashville and Memphis, Tennessee. The pilot, maybe it's from Hawaii, flying high, but it's not. École de Technologie Supérieure for Montreal, Quebec, Canada. This is their ace. So you can see we have a big wide area. The pilot really likes flying here. He can take his time to fly it around. We're hoping his descent doesn't give him too much airspeed. Sounds like he's going to opt to take it around, do a gear pass, show off a little bit. Can you turn that thing upside down, or are we going to keep it just flying straight and level? No, he's not going to hover it, and he's not going to turn it upside down. I heard that. All right, looks like he's made a real nice approach there. All of this is totally legal as long as he doesn't touch the ground. He's outside of that 400-foot mark. Real nice flight by École de Technologie Supérieure, flying aces from Montreal. All right, we saw it rotate and a takeoff, again in that 50-foot mark that we have out there. Real solid flying aircraft. Again, this is McGill University, and their Red Hawk seems to be flying real solid. Now there's a good profile of that rudder we were talking about. That's the vertical piece off the tail boom, put straight up. Without that rudder, the airplane's not going to fly very well. That big old rudder we see on this has a lot of authority. Coming around on base and setting up a final approach. Looks like they may have this flight in the bag. We'll see if they make their 400-foot line. Just past the threshold and sets it down on the runway. The rollout keeps them on the runway, and the engine's off. Airbox gives us the indication. That was a good flight. McGill University. This is Warsaw University of Technology with their tequila, and it rotated right away. This is the grandson of an airplane that flew Aero Design East 2011 last year. Did very well. It's going to be a team to keep an eye on.
Did we crank that thing down with the top wrench? They did it.
They'd love how big this place is.
This is a team that's really appreciating how large our airfield is. They make a big, wide, sweeping approach to the runway. Good piloting skills. He's working it to make sure the aircraft goes down on the runway. Could have been right, wow, in the center of the runway. Warsaw University of Technology, they're Tequila. Lafayette begin the takeoff rolls. They rotated into the air prior to their 200-foot mark. Josh, our line judge, indicates that the airplane's making its way around for its downwind leg. Lafayette is flying. Keep an eye on the plane. Okay, the plane didn't touch the ground. It came around and maybe overemphasized the approach. So they're going to make another go of it. This is perfectly legal maneuver. They're going to set up for their landing when they're ready. There's a lot of room out there, so no reason to fight it. Okay, in this instance, the pilot absolutely has the ability to fly around and do a little air show for us. And set up again, going on his downhill leg, go into a base approach, making his way to perpendicular to the runway, but to line up with the top of the runway, where he'll find his final approach, and hopefully make it inside that 400-foot landing mark. There's base. Coming around for final. Oh, eyes on the airplane, eyes on the plane, eyes on the plane. Top of the runway. Doing a little crowding. We're going to control it. Now, this is some good piloting, folks. Let's see what's going on here. He's still inside all legal limits. Working this plane.
He's holding the elevator, isn't he?
Yeah, he's putting those down. Get some speed.
I think the airplane's okay. He just needs to...
Get some speed. There he gets the speed.
All right, he looks like he's set up for final.
There we go.
Lafayette College brings it in. That's some kind of piloting. Let's give him a bottle of water. That certainly earned that. And the judge and air boss, everybody said that's a good flight. Nice piloting. Looks like K-State's doing real well. All right, looks like K-State made it from base into final approach. And they're going to put it down just about the center of the runway, inside their 400-foot mark. Nice flying. Let's run it up and let's go. So they're starting at 200 foot. They rotated inside 100 feet. They're doing real fine. Little engine trouble at the front, just a nose cone. Not a big deal. Pilot takes off, and this airplane's flying with a lot of authority. This might be one to watch. University of Tennessee and Mars Team UTM.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Coming out on final. This is going to probably be a successful flight. Nice rollout. That tail wheel's still up, and it drops. Beautiful, beautiful. University of Tennessee at Martin, Team UTM, successful flight. 10,000 RPM. And they've begun their rollout. Union College's aircraft took off in about 75 feet. That really tells us how they're going to play in to the competition later on today and tomorrow when we start adding weight. Right now, this is just the proof of flight. There's no real weight added. There's no ballast that's been added to any of these aircraft so far, which contributes to the weightlifting part of this competition. Looks like Union College's aircraft is coming around with a lot of authority. It's going on base into final. Eduardo's got the runway in his eyes, and he's bringing it around. Again, he's going to put it down, hopefully, if all goes well, just beyond the threshold from where he began the takeoff roll. Beautiful landing. Well, woohoo! A little bit of showmanship on the runway. Doing that actually to make sure the aircraft does not roll off the runway, to keep this rollout all the way to the end. A legal flight. All right. U.S. military takes off with just a lot of authority, as you might expect from these folks. Well, once that engine got going, you can see this thing's pumping right on through the sky. These guys will be back in the next round, assuming we have a nice base approach. Final landing. Those trees are way out there. Eduardo knows the size of this bowl. It's wheeling around, coming in final approach. Yeah, the aircraft made the threshold at the top of the runway, and you listen to the pilot now throttle back. Tricycle landing here, right down the middle of the runway. All right, U.S. Military Academy, fly or die. I say they're going to fly for another round. Team 24. Ford Institute of Technology. They lift off prior to the 200-foot mark. Still on a climb out. Turning around to make their downwind run. Vermilion project on final approach. And their rollout. That was a good flight by the Vermilion. Again, this is just a qualifying flight. There's not any weight added to these aircraft. It's a beautiful dihedral aspect of the wing. The dihedral is the V shape in the wing, which makes the aircraft sometimes a little bit more easy to control. They're still working on their climb out, get some good altitude before they go for their downwind run. University of Puerto Rico, Rum Air, looking good. Rum Air is making their way around in their base leg, rotating into their final approach. University of Puerto Rico sets it down, resolves the flight, the center of the runway, another successful flight. Good job, Rum Air. Go, Lucy. That was a really good flight. Really nice piloting. And they have the rollout. We're looking for a takeoff inside 200 feet. Looks like they did it about a 60-foot mark. It'll be last call for regular class. We'd like for advanced class to begin staging. Advanced class, bring your aircraft forward now. We're moving toward last call for regular class. We'll be shutting this down in a few more flights, 3 flights. And then we want advanced class to begin staging. So advanced class, your time has come. It's very near. Who's flying in on final approach? University of Virginia with a real solid flying aircraft, looking to get past the threshold from where they took off. This might be a scene to watch. University of Virginia, who's flying? They did, and they did a good job. University of Virginia has the rotation takeoff happen at about 30 feet, really rapidly rise into the air. They made their 200-foot barrier. University of Virginia is on their downwind leg, still flying nice and strong, and they turn into their base leg and rotate into their final approach. They're going to need to put down inside their 400-foot mark. Looks like they're going to just do a gear pass just to show how pretty that airplane is. Just got word that the scores for the first bit of flight, the microclass scores, have been posted over the judges area, right on the frequency board. It's pretty much no longer used. Coming in on base and rotating in their final approach this time. A lot better approach. Looks like they will be able to put it down inside their 400-foot area. And there you have it. I want to point out that the University of Technology does not have an aero design or mechanical design department. This plane was built by a club, some folks that were interested. Okay, I was correct. The University of Tulsa, these are mechanical engineers. They don't have an aeronautics department. So it looks like the mechanical engineers can still design an airplane that's viable. Look at that. It's beautiful. This is a maiden voyage for this aircraft, too, just to make it a little more nervous. Pedro, he's going to take it around and see if he can find a prettier approach. Yeah. It looks like we have something going on with the gear, the landing gear on this aircraft, so let's keep an eye on this. The landing could be a little bit interesting. Pedro's going to put it down as soft and slow as he can. I'm going to go ahead and quiet down and let him focus.
Oh my God, he came.
He's coming down. We have an engine out. All right. down. Beihong Technology. These folks flew in. They have a beautiful aircraft. I understand it's flown here a few times, so let's keep an eye on this one. We're getting the advanced class with quite a beautiful aircraft. All right, let's all eyes on the airplane when this thing takes off. With the gearing that was applied to these engines, they built their own gears, and the result of the mass from gearing the .61 engines, they are flying with much larger propellers. You can see that took off with a lot of authority. That odd sound is the sound of the gear drive. A lot of energy is being dissipated and lost just by that sound and the grind of the gears, but they still derive mathematically the ability to fly with a much larger propeller. So they're now going to do a little air show for us. Can you hang it on the nose? No, don't do that. That's nice pass. There's a lot of markings on this aircraft. If you have a chance to go by and take a look at it. Of course, they have their team name and their number. Beihong, which Beijing University Technology and Astro. They also have some words like land soft and be careful. I'm not nervous. All these things I read on that. Of course, they translated some stuff for me. Coming out on base, maybe turning into final. Again, they have the entire length of the runway. Let's all keep our eyes to the aircraft as it comes in. They have the length of the runway. This airplane also has brakes. Oh, good round of applause. Nice flying. Beijing percent octane level. This airplane can easily have 30%. This aircraft we see with their .61 cubic inch engine also has a nice tuned pipe. That tuned pipe is going to give them just a boost in performance. You can see they took off at about 40 feet at the most, so they're flying with some authority.
But it's symmetric, right?
University of Akron flight's looking good. They're on their downwind leg, coming around into base. Rotating right into final. At the tricycle landing gear we see, right down the center of the runway, that's some kind of piloting, that's some kind of airplane. University of Akron. Looks like the air boss is about ready to give them a go. Remember, these things have brakes on them too, so hopefully they're kicking in soon. And the roll has begun. Pedro Sanchez at the wheel. He gets up and looking pretty.
We're gonna get to do it next year.
Pedro's working it to get it to the downhill leg. He's got a lot of nice altitude. Pedro's a really fine pilot. Working hard, but it's looking good. This downwind leg can be a little bit difficult.
Let's go to the forest. No, shut up. Oh, please come home.
All right, Pedro is coming around for his base. Running perpendicular to the runway. When he lines up at the top, he'll make the turn. There it is. Coming into final. He has the entire runway. Again, this aircraft has a braking system. What a beautiful flying airplane. There's one. If nothing falls off, he's going to be okay. UC Davis completes the first round. the advanced aircraft. Congratulations.
Well, everybody, what do you think? Jump, jump.
Missouri University of Science and Technology rotates nicely. Missouri University of Science and Technology, their Advanced Aero Vehicle Group, has a nice flight going on the downwind leg. Again, the total displacement available for advanced class is going to be 0.65 cubic inches total. Keep your eye on the aircraft coming in on final. Drifting a bit, so let's keep an eye out there. All right, we had a landing right here. Team 206, Missouri Science and Technology. And everybody is safe. Let's turn it all up and move on to our next. It's going to be Team 201, Warsaw University of Technology, the Evolution. There. One is controlling the flight, the other is controlling the carburetor and the brake. This could be some nice, good teamwork. University of Warsaw brings it in for a nice landing. Team Marietta all right, that density altitude 2410. Density altitude 2410. It looks like St. Louis University. St. Louis University, the Cloud Hound. We're going to double check on the air density. Please do not take my last reading into consideration. We're going to confirm it. St. Louis University, the Cloud Hounds are up in the clouds. They're looking good. Let's keep an eye on this. They're coming in nice and hot on their final. The wind's blowing right into them, so it's providing a real nice resistance against the airframe and makes for a pretty landing. That was a two-wheel landing. Drops into the tricycle. The brakes kick in. Congratulations, St. Louis University, the Cloud Hounds. Nice work. Air Boss just gave it to you. All right, that's going to end our advanced class